Hello viewers, welcome to my YouTube channel. I still remain Dora. So today I have a session I want to teach my learners. It's about Microsoft Excel errors. What are these errors? These are I would say we have ever been encountering with these things, but we didn't know that these are the errors actually. So these are errors that maybe once you've typed something wrong or your working is wrong, that's when you encounter with these errors. So let's go to the Microsoft Excel. I have my work typed here already. We have the hash value error, we have the href error, we have the hash Excel error, we have the hash div errors. Those are the different types of errors you can encounter with while using Microsoft Excel. So I'm going to show you how you can get each error and how you can correct them. Maybe you will know this is the div error, this is the Excel error. Before we move on, make sure you like and subscribe my channel for more videos as we go for the next session. So let's begin by the hash value error. How do we find this hash value error? While using the Microsoft Excel. These are errors maybe once you adjust your column, these are a column, yeah, or row to a very small size that these values can't be read by user. You yourself, you can't see the values. That's when they'll bring out the hash Excel error. So let's see this. Let's try to adjust it like to a smaller width that these values can't fit in. As you can see, these are the hash Excel error, because the values in here, the values we have fit in here can't fit in this small part. So instead they will become errors. So how do you correct it? By readjusting your column. This is the simple way. Readjust your column to a normal size where you can read your values or items type. So let's adjust it back and see. Yeah, as you can see, these are the items that were there. As long as they're not read, you're going to get an error. That is the hash error. So that is our first error. Let's go to the hash. We go to the hash value error. How do you get this hash value error? You get this hash value error by mixing words and values and figures. So maybe you want to get the total, but you mixed here. Let's mix up this amount with some words. Let me say mix it was 6,000, I think. Yeah, so now we want to get the total using a formula, not a function. This manual way of us adding 1 plus 2 plus 3. So let's get an equal sign, open bracket, enter. We're going to open bracket. So we want to get a total of this. You see a plus than equal sign because this is a manual formula, not an inbuilt function we can use to add. Then we close. As you can see, it has even wrote it here. This is the hash value error. So how do you correct this error? It's either by removing those words from here and then adding them, or you can use what? A formula, a function rather, an inbuilt function in your PC. So you can say sum. We are going to sum because we want to add the total. Double click on it, you come and highlight, and you highlight this, and you drag it, and then you close the bracket. We shall see if it's going to bring. You see, it has brought for us the value, regardless of us mixing words, text and figures, but using a formula, it brought for us the hash value error. So you can correct this by either removing this or using a function, inbuilt function in your PC. Let's remove this text and we see if we add manually, it's going to come out. So equal sign, in bracket, like this here. Open bracket, we're here, highlight, plus sign, highlight this, you close. Yeah, as well, you can see you can correct it by either removing the text from the figures or by using an inbuilt function. So we have talked about the hash error, Microsoft Excel error. That is when you adjust your column to a smaller size where the values can't fit, and we have seen how we can correct them. That is by readjusting your column so that these words or values can clearly be read and seen. So we have hit on the hash value error, where we saw if you have mix of text and figures, you can't use a manual formula to add. Instead, it's going to bring the hash value error. But how do you correct this? You correct this in two different ways: by either removing those texts from your figures, separating them or deleting them, or by using an inbuilt function. An inbuilt function can detect what the user wants regardless of those items. So let's go to the hash diff error. Hash diff error comes about dividing. You heard of diff, dividing a cell with a figure with an empty cell. If you do that, it's going to bring you that error. So let's see if what I'm saying is true. So maybe we want to divide, in bracket, come and highlight this, slash, that's an division sign, this, you close, enter. Exactly, this is what I meant. That's brought for us the hash diff error, where we divided a cell with a value with an empty cell, which can't work, of course. So how do you correct this? By dividing a cell with the figures and another cell with the figures, not dividing an empty cell with a cell that is occupied. So let's see if we are to divide with values, will it work out or will it give us another error? So going to highlight this, slash sign right there, then you close the bracket, enter. Exactly. So that brought us the values, meaning if you want to correct this, divide a value by a value, not a cell with a value with a cell with an empty cell. So we are going to look at our last cell, which is the Hashreef error. Rather, we're going to see our last error, which is the Hashreef error. How do you get to know this is the Hashreef error? We are going to see, maybe I want to sum up all this total. I want to sum up all this, but I delete one column, the entire column I delete it out, maybe mistakenly, or you've forgotten. Maybe let's put it like you've deleted it mistakenly. You delete one column. So let's see if it's going to work out. Manually, we start with manually. Equal Where are we? We are traverse. Okay. Plus this 12 that close and so it has brought all our values here. So for instance, let's delete this. As you can see, it's not detecting, it's not aligning with the left values because we have deleted one. Yeah, we have deleted one entire column that accounted to its total costs. So if these figures are missing out, this is when you encounter with these errors. So how do you correct this? Let's first bring back our column. How do you correct this? By either using a function. A function, remember, is an inbuilt formula that if you use a function, regardless of you deleting, yeah, your formula will still remain, your total cost will still remain. So let's see if it's going to work out. Come here, we are summing, yeah, so every formula starts with an equal sign, sum, then we come, click, and then we drag, close bracket, enter. So this is our value. Even if I come here and I delete this cell, we shall still have, the computer will automatically read the left values and sum it up. It won't bring an error because this is a function. Computer already knows I want to make summation. So even if I delete this, it will still sum up the left values on my PC. So this is how we correct them. So we talked about the hash Excel errors. I've demonstrated how we can get them and how we can correct them. I've talked about the hash value errors, how we can get them, how we can correct them. Then we ended up talking about the hash diff error, how we get them and how we correct them. Then last we talk about the hash ref error. So these are the errors you can get in Excel while you're working out. I hope this video has brought awareness of these errors because many of the users didn't know this. Hope you've learned from this video. Thank you for listening. Please don't forget to subscribe and like to my video.